All right, let's jump into something that can feel a little tricky in math, multiplying fractions. But don't worry, we're going to use pictures to make it all make perfect sense.
Hello, dynamic learners. We understand how to multiply whole numbers, but how do we multiply fractions? You're probably pros at multiplying stuff like 2 times 3. But what happens when we're not dealing with whole things? How do you multiply a part of something by another part of something? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out today.
Okay, to get started, let's go back to something you probably already know, the area model. So if you've got a rectangle with a side of 2 and a side of 3, you can see it makes a grid with 6 little squares inside, right? Length times width gives you the total area. We're going to use this exact same idea, but for fractions.
All right, let's see how this actually works in the real world. For just a second, let's forget about the numbers and think about soup.
So imagine this. You've got a recipe for this huge pot of soup, and it needs 3/4 of a tablespoon of salt. But you're not that hungry. You only want to make about 1/3 of the whole pot. So the question is, how much salt do you actually need? What we're really asking here is, what is 1/3 of 3/4?
Whenever you hear that word of in a math story problem, a little light bulb should go off in your head. That of almost always means multiply. So our problem is really 1/3 times 3/4. And we're not going to solve it with boring old rules. Nope. We're going to solve it with a picture using our awesome area model.
All right, if you've got some paper handy, now's a great time to grab it and follow along. The secret to this whole thing, the real key, is finding where our two fractions overlap. Let's build our model together, step by step. First things first, just draw a big rectangle. Think of this as our one whole thing. Now, for our first fraction, 3/4, let's slice that rectangle into 4 equal rows, just horizontally, side to side. Got it? Okay. Now shade in 3 of those rows with, let's say, blue. Perfect. Now for the second fraction, 1/3, we're going to take that same rectangle and slice it the other way into 3 equal columns, going up and down. And let's shade one of those columns yellow. Okay, get ready, because this is where the magic happens.
Do you see it? See where the blue and the yellow shading crossed over each other and made that green area? That green part is our answer. It's the spot that's inside both the 1/3 part and the 3/4 part at the exact same time.
So, how do we turn that green splotch into an actual fraction? Well, first, we just count the number of green overlapping squares. Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3. That number, 3, that's going to be the top number of our answer. The numerator.
Okay, next up, we need the bottom number, the denominator. And for that, all we have to do is count the total number of little squares in the whole rectangle. If you count them all up, you'll see there are 12 of them. So 12 is our denominator. And just like that, our picture shows us that 3/4 times 1/3 equals 3/12. Look at that! We found the answer. But in math, we always like to make things as simple as we can. So, can we simplify 3/12? Oh yeah, for sure we can. Think about it. Both 3 and 12 can be divided by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. That means 3/12 is the same thing as 1/4. And that is the answer to our soup story. You only need 1/4 tablespoon of salt.
All right, you've seen how it's done. Now it's your turn to become a fraction artist. Let's do a practice problem together. So let's try this one. What is 1/2 times 1/3? Let's use another story. Imagine you've got 1/3 of a cake left over from a party, and you decide you're going to eat half times of that piece. How much of the whole entire cake are you actually eating? Hold on. Before you even pick up your pencil, let's make a prediction. Take a look at the bottom numbers of our fractions, the denominators. We've got a 2 and a 3. What do you think the total number of squares in our grid is going to be? Go ahead and pause here for a second and think about it. Did you guess it would be 2 times 3, which is 6? Let's find out if you're right. Okay, now for the fun part. Grab that piece of paper and try to draw the area model for 1/2 times 1/3. Remember, slice it one way for the halves and the other way for the thirds, and then find where they overlap. Go on, pause right here and give it a try. All right, are you ready for the big reveal? Let's see how you did. Your rectangle should have 6 total squares in it. You should have shaded 1 row and 1 column, and you should see just 1 little square where they overlap. So that means our top number is 1 and our bottom number is 6. The answer is 1/6. Did you get it? Awesome job!
So you are totally getting the hang of drawing these fraction models. But you might be wondering, how does this connect to the way my teacher shows me in school? Well, let's pull back the curtain and see how the picture connects to the rule.
Okay, get ready for a big aha moment.
Let's look back at our soup problem, 3/4 times 1/3. The picture we drew showed us 3 overlapping squares out of a total of 12. Now think about the standard rule you might see in class. Multiply the top numbers straight across. 3 times 1 is 3. Now multiply the bottom numbers straight across. 4 times 3 is 12. See? The area model actually shows you why that rule works. It's not just some random math trick, it's a shortcut for what the picture is telling us.
All right, you're pretty much an expert at this now, so it's time to put on your detective hat. We're going to look at a problem where someone made a little mistake, and I want to see if you can crack the case.
Okay, so this is Rita's homework. She was trying to draw a model for the problem 1/10 times 4. She started off right, she drew a rectangle, and she split it into 10 equal parts to show the tenths. And then she shaded some of them in. But something's not quite right here.
Can you be the mistake detective and figure out what she did wrong? I'll give you a hint. Multiplying a fraction by a whole number, like 4, is just a fast way of adding. So 1/10 times 4 is really the same as 1/10 plus 1/10 plus 1/10 plus 1/10. Take another close look at her drawing.
Did you spot it? Look, Rita only shaded in 3 of the squares. The problem asks for 4 times 1/10, so she should have shaded 4 of those 10 squares to show 4 groups of 1/10. It was a simple little counting mistake, but it changes the entire answer. Great catch, detective.
And to wrap up, let's end with one last big idea to think about. You know how when you multiply whole numbers like 2 times 3, the answer gets bigger? It becomes 6. But today, every single time we multiplied by a fraction, our answer actually got smaller. Why do you think that is? Well, the key is remembering you're not making more groups of something. You're finding a part of a part. You're taking a fraction of an already existing fraction, and that's always going to give you an even smaller piece of the whole pie. Pretty cool, right?